Welcome to Coach Morley's daily shooting workout. We're going to get into it, but before we get onto the court and before we look at it, I need to explain to you guys why it's important that we're taking daily shots. And I don't mean just getting on the court and jacking up a load of shots randomly. I mean having some structure to what we're doing, having some purpose behind it, so that we're on the right path to get better at what we're doing. So what we've done is I've put together 5 of my drills that I use daily with all of my athletes. Everybody goes through these drills from beginners to advanced players. It doesn't matter who. We're able to progress and regress every single drill according to your skill level just by changing the outcome and the focus. Alright? So the reason it's so important to be shooting daily is because our muscles and our body need time to adapt and learn and really become consistent in their movement patterns. A lot of basketball movement can be quite unnatural at first, and we have to train the body to move in different ways, in new ways. It's the same with our shot mechanics, especially if we've learned how to shoot one way and now we're making adjustments for whatever reason. We have to untrain already taught motions and retrain new movement patterns, and it's a long process that takes time. That being said, it's possible to make quick changes that are small changes to really advance through what you're doing. That's the purpose of these drills. These drills enable you to progress through from warm-up to a game-like drill, a game speed, paying attention to the details as you go through. Really focusing on our touch on our release, how it feels, being consistent with the final phase of from our shot pocket to release, getting our wrist back, and all these small details that become vital in becoming a good shooter. That being said, everybody's shot is different. There is just a baseline blueprint that allows us to work off and then modify what we're doing for each person's individual shot. With our daily shooting, it can be tough to get in every single day. So here's how I want you to go about fitting it into what you're doing. If you have a day where you only have one on-court workout, or none, then you need to be getting this in on top of your team workout or your club workout. That's going to really help. If you've got 2 a day, then you can let this one rest. Maybe get in the first bit of it as your warm-up, the first 3 drills of it as your warm-up, and you progress through. And then on those days where you only have 1 training session or no training sessions, get the lock and load and the Spurs drill in as well, just to get those extra reps. Whilst we're going through our shooting is so mentally tough. To stay locked in, to stay focused on what you're doing, and to execute and control your body for that extended period of time. It takes time to be able to do that. So at first you're going to discover it's tough to go through all 125 shots of the Spurs drill with no break. That's fine. Do 1 spot, take a rest, then do the next spot. But as long as every shot you take is the best possible rep you can make, and you're focused on what you're doing, don't worry about the misses and the makes. It's all about the movement and how you execute, and that you're giving your best to it. That being said, it's time to get on the court. So let's go. What's up, guys? We're jumping straight into this workout. Now, this first exercise doesn't quite seem like an exercise. In fact, by its name, shooting nap, doesn't sound much like an exercise at all. However, what we're doing here is really focusing in on the release part of our shot. That final extension of our arm, the release off our fingertips, and controlling it. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it all the way down to the floor. I want you to lay down. We're going to lay down flat. We're right-handed, we've got that ball right in front of us. We can have both hands on ball. All we're going to do is shoot it straight up and come back down. What we're looking for is the ball to be going straight up and straight back down to our hand. When you're first starting to do this, please do it with a wall behind you a couple of meters back, because the ball is going to go away as you shoot it and push it backwards, it's going to go all over the place. So when you're doing this as a daily shooting thing, what you've got to make sure you do is be in a safe space. Be outside next to a wall, not near a window, until you get this under control. Once you've got it under control, lay down in the living room while you're watching TV and do it. But as long as you're getting it in, focusing on that final release and the feel and the touch as it comes off your fingertips. Obviously we're aiming to be coming off index and middle finger as we're releasing it, keeping the ball nice and straight. Within the workout, we're going to do 10 reps of that. We're going to do it as our first exercise and then as our third exercise as we go through our workout, okay? So we're going to have a look at it, I'm going to go through it, and then it's your turn. Three. Oh, a little bit off. 4, 5. Trying to keep that ball nice and straight, going up and straight back down to your hand. Okay guys, great work getting those reps in. Now, as you get better at this, I want you to do it with your weak hand as well as your strong hand, so we're developing that touch and control with both hands. So if you're right-handed, start with that right hand. Once you're able to do all 10 under control, start trying it with that left hand. Not in that same space because you'll probably lose control to start off with, so get back outside where it's safe and get control over that left hand, so we're able to have touch and control around the basket with both hands on our finishes. That's going to help us out massively as we improve and add new finishes to our game as we progress. Let's go check out the next drill. Okay guys, we're on to the next. This time what we're doing is we're doing our single hand form shooting. Okay, so we're going to set ourselves up close to the basket. If you have markings, we're going to use the charge circle as our mark point. We're going to get ourselves set into our shooting stance with the ball in one hand. We're bringing that ball up to our shooting pocket, rotating that ball and our hand underneath the ball as we get up. We're looking to have 90 degrees at our elbow and at our wrist, really getting that wrist back. From here, everything is just a push up, exactly like we were just doing with our shooting naps. This is where that whole action now comes up into our shot, okay? So we're starting low, coming up to the shot pocket, and then we have extension up into the basket from there. We're doing this to develop this touch. Over time, we can add in different factors that limit what your makes are. So we can say it's only allowed us to be a swish. So now if you touch the rim, it doesn't count. So we get more control and more accurate with our shooting, and we do it close to the basket so it is easier. So you can have success with this, and then we can move back over time, but we've got to start close to the basket, which is why this is the second exercise. So let's go take a look at it. So we're getting 10 reps at each spot. We're going to do 3 spots. I'm just going to go through and do 3 at each spot, just so you get a view of it. So now you've got that profile view. We've got our 90 degrees, up into our extension. Trying to get that release off our index and middle finger, using our 3 spots. Oh, short. 3 spots around the keyway, around the charge circle, sorry. One more make. There we go. So as we did with our shooting naps, once you've got used to doing this right hand, we're now going to do 10 right hand, 10 left hand, just to, again, increase the control you have with that weak hand and that control around the basket, because you will be shooting with your weak hand from further out than this charge circle as you develop within this game. Let's go check out the next one. Okay guys, next up we've got our balance shooting. Now what this is going to do is, it's going to act as a great stretch for your hamstrings, which is always important in terms of us warming up into our basketball game. Second, it's going to really work on you keeping your core activated and engaged to keep yourself stable through different motions coming up into that shot. And it's super important you focus on keeping that core engaged, otherwise you're going to lose balance through this motion. And the whole point of this is that we get better and gain mastery over this balance. Okay, so we're going to start really nice and close, probably a good step back from the charge circle. We're going to start on either one foot. Ball is always going to be held as if we're ready to shoot, and we're coming straight out, trying to make ourselves into a T and coming back up into the shot, all in one motion. We're going to do 5 repetitions on each side, so that's 1. So as we're doing our workout, try and control, hold that motion and keep that balance through the whole movement. Okay, we're nice and slow coming out, controlled, and it's all in one motion as we take our shot. Okay, so obviously as with everything, we've got to work both sides of our body. So we've just gone, I've just shown with the left leg, so now we're going to come off the right leg. This will be slightly change, it will slightly change how it feels, just because of the position your body needs to get into to take the shot. So we're still focused on that balance, leg back, ball out, coming up into that shot. Keep that balance. If you start wobbling, bring it back to middle and get that shot off. One more, so we've got our 3 reps each side. There's a very good chance you're feeling this in your hamstrings right now. That's fine, you should be. So we're going 3 reps of that each side, and then we have a second part of this exercise. All that changes is where the ball goes. So now the ball comes down to the floor, our back leg still comes up high behind us. So it just extends this stretch even further and deeper through your hamstrings and your glutes as we're coming down to the floor now. So leg comes back, ball comes down to the floor, and then we're still trying to keep it one motion and controlled as we come up into that shot. Misses are fine. This is about repetitions. So we're still doing 3 repetitions coming through. So that's 2. We'll get one last one there. Okay, so as with everything, we then do that on our right leg as well, so we balance out both sides of our body. One last one. Oh, creeps in for 3. Again, as with all of these drills, as you get better and more controlled over it, we can change our discipline on it. So right then, I was saying it's just repetitions, it's not makes. Well, once you get good at this, that should just be 3 makes. And then once you get good at that, that should then be 3 swishes. So we can always push ourselves, even though the drill doesn't change, we can change out what that outcome goal is to make the drill more difficult for ourselves as we progress. Let's get on to the next one. Okay guys, next drill we've got today is our lock and load drill. Now previously we'd mentioned about that wrist coming back, especially in our form shooting, getting that wrist underneath. So that's what we're really focusing on now. However, one major thing I've noticed over the years is that a lot of players don't get their wrist back until it's too late. A lot of players don't get their wrist back until this last second here, and they hit this horrible backwards motion out of their final bit of their shot. This leads to really inconsistent power, ball going all over the place. And ultimately, we want to be able to control all of that. So this drill is really focusing on getting that wrist back early within our preparation for our shot and getting comfortable executing that extension from our holster, okay? So we're starting with the ball just resting on our thigh in our shooting stance. When we bring that offhand to the ball, we're locking that wrist back. We're looking for this wrinkle at our wrist. So we're getting that wrist locked back, and then everything is up and out to the basket. Okay, so as we rep through this, we're going to go 5 spots. We're going to go 10 shots each spot to start off with. Okay, just so we got 10 repetitions at each spot. As with all of our drills, you can progress them on your own by changing how focused you are on what that final product at the basket is like, whether we're just counting reps, we're counting makes, we're counting swishes. That's how you can add that level of focus to it for yourself as you go through. Really, really focus in on just that wrist back, coming up nice and smooth, one motion, everything rising together. Ultimately though, whether we're missing or making these shots, we want them to be straight. So that miss right there was a great miss. It came straight back to me. It was short. I don't particularly like short misses because it means I wasn't strong enough on the shot. But that's a small adjustment we can make, more power as long as I keep that shot line. So that's where you're working in your head as you're going through this drill, adjusting power but trying to keep that shot straight and then build consistency as we get into it. Let's take a look at how it looks on the court. They should all go in, I'm not going to lie. Go one more just because we had that break. So when I make one, it'll be all through. Okay, so great work on that lock and load. If this is new to you, your wrist is probably a little sore right now. That's fine. We've got to build that strength and that takes a lot of time. Great work on that. We've got one drill left. Hopefully your shot's warmed up now because this last drill is going to put you to the test. Let's go check it out. Okay guys, last drill. So now we're going to look at our Spurs Mid 25s. I hope you're ready for this because this one can be extremely tiring if you're not used to shooting a large amount of shots. You're about to shoot 125 shots. Now for this, it's up to you. If you have somebody that can rebound for you, great, definitely needed. If you don't do 5 spots, do 3 spots, take your time with it, but execute on it. Now with this drill, we're actually going to keep count of how many makes we get. We're going to shoot 25 shots from each spot. Our initial target is to get 10 out of that 25, and then we can increase that as we get better. Okay. So with this drill, every odd numbered shot, 1, 3, 5, so on, is a catch and shoot. Every even numbered shot is a 1 dribble pull-up, and you're going to alternate which way you go on those 1 dribble pull-ups. We can change what that is, but for now we're going to keep that as just a strict 1 dribble pull-up. So I'm going to just quickly demonstrate from this top spot. This is all in the mid-range. Quickly demonstrate from here, show you what it looks like, and then we'll put the whole thing on, and I'll go through all the 5 spots, getting what that rhythm looks like, the tempo that you want to be going at, and how we're executing. Let's get into it. It's a pass. So we got 1 dribble pull up, catch and shoot. Now we're going other side, 1 dribble pull up, catch and shoot, and it progresses on from there. Next spot is on the wing, 45. So our catch and shoots step us to inside that 3-point line. So we got our 1, 2, 3. Miss 4. Miss 5. It's alright. We're just going to move on. I'm just doing 5 shots at each spot, just so you guys get to see what it looks like. So then we're top of the keyway. Oh. Three, other side. 4, 5. So then we're moving on. Left side 45. Other way. Then our last spot, left side baseline. Boom. Okay, great work. Well-deserved end of the workout right there. Just to get a little extra in, make sure you make 2 free throws in a row before you get off the court. Write down what numbers you got on that Spurs drill. Keep track of that so you can see progress over time, and that's going to help you really understand and see the value in the training that you're doing. Until next time, guys, it's Coach Morley. We out of here. Peace.